In today's video, we're going to talk about some sophisticated gourmand fragrances. If you're interested, then just keep watching. Hi, my name is Ayesha from simplyayesha.com. Here on YouTube, I make videos about fragrance, beauty, luxury, and lifestyle. If those are things you're interested in, please consider subscribing. And if you are a returning subscriber, hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I am a self-professed gourmand fragrance lover. Gourmand fragrances are really just a title to describe fragrances that have food-like components to them. So I typically categorize gourmands as like 3 different types. So the first type would be the very literal gourmand. So to me, literal gourmands smell like something that you could physically eat or drink. The second type of category I like to say is they're kind of in between. So it's between like a literal gourmand and not a gourmand. So in that case, I would say these fragrances possess a lot of qualities that make them smell edible, but maybe just a little something that doesn't smell edible. And then the last category I have are fragrances that have touches of gourmand elements. So they may be sweet, they may have a marshmallow note, but overall they don't smell edible. So in the video today, I'm gonna share with you some of my more sophisticated gourmands. These fragrances, for the most part, are not going to be literal gourmands because sometimes I feel like literal gourmands get a bad rap because people say, I don't wanna smell like food. And I get that. We all are entitled to what we wanna smell like. So sometimes I feel like those fragrances are viewed as more juvenile or more body spray-ish. And so the fragrances that we're going to be talking about today, most of them are in that second or third category, meaning that they have gourmand elements or they mainly smell edible with just a little something that gives it a little bit of a perfume-like quality. Hopefully that wasn't too confusing, but we're going to go ahead and get into these fragrances. So we're going to start out with the fragrance that I'm wearing today, and it's kind of an honorable mention in this video, and I will tell you why after I show it to you. So the fragrance I'm wearing today is Amoureuse Intense. This is the new fragrance from Electus Parfums and AI the Great here on YouTube. And the reason this is an honorable mention is because today is my first time wearing it. So I don't have much to say about it, but it definitely fit into this video. So I figured I would go ahead and include it because it is my scent of the day. This fragrance is gorgeous. Now I know they send the notes with the fragrance, but y'all know I don't like to look at the notes when I'm describing a fragrance. I just want to tell you what I think it smells like. So to me, when I smell this, I get like a juicy pear mixed with caramel, and it smells like there's some other fruits in this fragrance as well that kind of give some additional sweetness. I also feel like there's something that is similar to maybe whipped cream and maybe a slight bit of booziness to this fragrance. Now, mind you, this is my first time wearing it. Before today, I did spray it on my hand one day, like when I first got in the mail because I couldn't resist. So I sprayed it on my hand one day, but today is my first full body wear, so I don't have much more to say about it except this is definitely a love at first sniff for me. I don't know how it wears. I don't know how it performs. I don't know how much it's gonna change. So take all this information with a grain of salt, but I am loving this right now. And right now I smell like a snack, but a grown up sexy snack. Like I don't smell like something a kid would be wearing, although it is quite sweet and leans in that gourmand direction. So again, that is Amoureuse Intense, my scent of the day and honorable mention in this video. The next fragrance I have is also from Electus Parfums and AI the Great, and this is Ambrosia Imperial. So this fragrance has been making waves since it came out. And I have to say, I feel like the hype is real, y'all. I love this fragrance. So this is a fragrance that is based around the Bananas Foster note. That was Ayesha, not me, the Ayesha of AI the Great. That was her inspiration behind this fragrance. So think like cooked boozy bananas. I've never had Bananas Foster, but to my understanding, that's what it is. It's like a flambé banana dessert. Anyway, when I smell this, I get those cooked bananas. So it doesn't really smell like banana Laffy Taffy to me. It does have that sweetness of like banana candy, but it's definitely more warm than that. It has this boozy note to it. It also has saffron in this fragrance that I feel like just adds an element of sexiness to it. And then this fragrance also has something kind of sticky sweet in here like dates. But all of this is just very well blended so that when you smell it, it smells edible in a way, but it also smells very elevated. This one wears kind of transparently on the skin. It's not a light fragrance, but it reminds me of like that sparkling type of quality to a fragrance. It gives you that like touch of fragrance, but it's still a great performing fragrance. I hope that makes sense to you. It's kind of hard to explain, but it has this airy quality while still being a very present fragrance. So this is the type of fragrance that I have enjoyed wearing during the day, during the warmer months. But going into the cooler months, I still feel like this is going to work because it has enough presence to it. It has enough sweetness to it that I think it will survive in cold weather. Now, I haven't tested in cold weather yet because we haven't really had any cold days, but this is one that I thoroughly enjoy for like day dates, going to church, running errands, date night. This is a very versatile fragrance in my opinion. So again, that is Ambrosia Imperial from Nouvelles Parfums and AI the Great. The next fragrance is from Parfums De Marley, and this is Altair. So this is part of the men's line, and typically I don't pick up any of the men's line fragrances for myself from Parfums De Marley because I don't like the bottles. To me, they look very masculine. I know a lot of ladies would disagree, but it looks like a nice high quality bottle, but it doesn't seem like it should be something on my side. And I know that's stupid, but when I spend a lot of money on a fragrance like Parfums De Marley brand, I like my bottle to match the fragrance. Anyway, besides the point, I picked this up because it was getting a lot of rave reviews when it first came out, and I was curious, and I found it for a good deal at Selfridges. It's not like it was on sale or anything, but the price at Selfridges is a lot lower than here in the US. I did share that with you all on my Instagram and on my YouTube, so make sure you follow me on Instagram because that's where I share a lot of deals, especially in my broadcast group on there. So if you go to my Instagram page and you scroll down to right before you get to my pictures and all, it'll have a little space there for you to be able to join my broadcast channel, which is called like Steals and Deals or something like that. So definitely, if you like to know about fragrance deals, join that. Anyway, shameless plug over. Altair is gorgeous, y'all. I've only worn this, I think about twice, but this is a vanilla scent, but there's a lot more going on than just vanilla. So to me, what I get at the opening is an aromatic touch. So I smell something kind of fresh and green and aromatic, but nothing too strong. It kind of smells like it could be a mix between like a lavender and like almost like a pine or a eucalyptus note or something like that, but it's not too strong. And then in the background, you have this beautiful like velvety vanilla that is a little bit sweet, but not extremely sweet. It has some spices in here that remind me of fall. So if I had to guess, I would say like cinnamon, nutmeg type spices. And as this fragrance continues to dry on the skin, that vanilla, that warmth really comes out more and more, but you still kind of have a bit of that aromatic touch hanging out in the background. And I feel like that actually makes this fragrance really unique. I love this fragrance. It wears very well. I think this fragrance is perfectly unisex and that it will work just as good for a man as it would for a woman. I've also gotten compliments from this fragrance, so it seems to perform pretty well, and it does last a long time on the skin as well. So again, that is Parfums De Marley Altair. The next fragrance I have is from Tom Ford, and this is Lost Cherry. Now, for a while, I didn't talk about this fragrance very much because there's one point where I felt like I talked about it so much that I just ran it in the ground, and then everybody started talking about cherry, and I just kind of like didn't talk about this fragrance anymore, but I still love this fragrance, still wear this fragrance. Lost Cherry is a beautiful, rich, like sour cherry, boozy, almondy scent. This is a darker cherry fragrance that definitely gives me sexy vibes. It's one of those fragrances that I feel like when I wear it, it causes my loved one to snuggle up next to me. Like it's one of those that makes you want to get closer. I would love to smell this on somebody else. I've never smelled it on anyone else, even though it seems to be quite popular. I personally have never smelled it on anybody else, but I would love to and just see how it wears on them. But it's gorgeous. It's delicious smelling without smelling too foody, and that booziness is just like the right amount to take this into like a dark, deep territory. Now, I definitely could wear this during the day, but I prefer to wear this at night, either on date night or like hanging out with my husband at home. I love it for those types of occasions. So again, that is Tom Ford Lost Cherry. The next fragrance is from Vilhelm Perfumery, and this is Poets of Berlin. So this fragrance is quite unique. This is not going to be one for everybody, but I think the people that love it really love it. So when I smell this fragrance, it opens up with this kind of lemon blueberry muffin type smell, but also in contrast, it has kind of this smoky vibe to it. So I'm not sure if tobacco is a note in here, but to me, that's what it smells like, a smoky tobacco without being extremely smoky, but definitely a little bit of smokiness. So you get the contrast of that sweetness with the depth of like the smoky note to it. As the fragrance dries down, I feel like more vanilla starts to come out, and I still get that lemon blueberry smell, but the fragrance becomes more full. You get this beautiful sweet vanilla that's not extremely sweet, and everything else kind of just blends together with that. So I feel like I can smell all those notes that I mentioned at the beginning, like the lemon, the blueberry, and the smokiness. I can smell them throughout the life of this fragrance. However, in the dry down, it becomes more vanillic, and then those other facets kind of just move to the background. This is absolutely stunning. In my opinion, it's quite unique. It is a special fragrance. This is one that when I wear it, I just think like nobody smells like me and nobody smells as good as me. Now, this fragrance is not going to be for everybody, like I said, because it is quite unique. It could be polarizing. It could be a little bit too smoky for some of y'all. But I will say, if you have smelled this in the store and did not spray it on your skin, definitely try it again, because at first sniff, like I said, you get a lot of that kind of smokiness, but as soon as the fragrance starts to dry down, that smokiness decreases. So I would hate for you to miss out on such a great fragrance just because you only smelled it out of a bottle. So this is one you need to try on skin. Again, that is Poets of Berlin from Vilhelm Perfumery. This next fragrance is from Roosa Parfums, and this is Sweetie Oud. So this fragrance was sent to me, but it's been well over a year. I'm mentioning this because I want to, not because it was sent to me. This fragrance is gorgeous. This is a very elevated take on a Gourmand. So when I smell this, I get something that's like a chocolatey oud pastry. Like, that's not even a thing, but that's what I get. So there is something in this fragrance that kind of gives it a bready vibe to me, but then you definitely pick up the oud in this. So you can smell that woody note from the oud, but it's a very clean, smooth oud, but it's definitely present. And the oud in this kind of takes on like this chocolatey smell, in my opinion. It also kind of smells like there could be a little bit of patchouli in here as well, but it's not dirty. It's kind of more of a earthy, oudy pastry smell. Sounds gross, but it works in this fragrance. Now, this one is one that you can see I don't have much of a dent in, and that's because it is quite the performer. It could be overpowering if I were to go too heavy with the sprays on this one. And also, I feel like this one for me is only appropriate in cold weather. Since I don't live in a cold climate, I don't use it very much, but when I do, I feel like it smells so special. I've gotten compliments on this fragrance from people that just like fragrance casually, and I've asked them, you know, when I was testing this fragrance out, I've asked them like, what do they think it smells like? And people said vanilla, like it smells like some sort of like dark vanilla. So keep that in mind. That's how like a non-fragrance lover described it to me. But when I smell this, I get like pastry, oudy, chocolatey goodness. So again, that is Roosa Sweetie Oud. This next fragrance is from Noel 1942, and this is La Danza de Libellule. From now on, I'm just gonna call it La Danza, but I will have the full name listed in the description box along with links to this fragrance and all the other fragrances I'm mentioning in this video. Anyway, this fragrance is one of the more playful fragrances in this video. So this is a true gourmand. This is caramel apple goodness. This one to me, I guess, is the most literal out of this list, but I still feel like there's an elegance to this. So if you're looking for a playful scent, you want something gourmand, but you don't want to smell childish, I definitely think this would work. This is perfect for year-round use, in my opinion. Although it's a sweet caramel apple scent, it has this transparent nature to it. So I'm able to wear this when it's really hot outside, but I do prefer to wear it in the fall just because when I think about apple, I think about fall. And so I like to wear this most during the fall, but I also wear it spring, summer. I think it's a little bit on the lighter side for a winter fragrance. It's not that projecting. I don't know if it would stand up to severe cold, but this is a fun, playful gourmand that I kind of feel like you can't go wrong with. Yeah, I really feel like everybody would like this. So again, that is La Danza by Noel 1942. The next fragrance is from Frank Beauclair, and this is called Sugar. So this is a marshmallow scent, but it is not the typical marshmallow. To me, this smells like a light, fluffy, airy marshmallow with some greenness, a little bit of floral nature to it, and not extremely sweet in my opinion. There's definitely some sweetness to it, but it's not sweet in the way that I think of when I see a name like Sugar. It just is like a very tame sweetness. But the marshmallow in here is gorgeous. It's slightly powdery. And then this fragrance also kind of has this shampoo-like smell to it, which sounds odd, but it works. And I think that's the thing that really makes it smell not really edible. It's because it kind of has the shampoo-y vibe. On the skin though, this works really, really well. It just gives you this nice airy feel, and you get those gourmand vibes without going full on gourmand. I know this is a unisex fragrance, but I personally can't really picture a man wearing this. So if you are a man and you wear this fragrance, let us know what you think of it down below, because I know some men do wear this. And so I'd be interested to see, you know, what you all think about it. But anyway, I think this one is perfect for cool to cold weather, daytime, can be worn at nighttime too. But I wouldn't really pick this out as like a date night scent. To me, it doesn't give me those vibes. It's more of a comforting, cozy, but sophisticated gourmand fragrance. So again, that is Sugar by Frank Beauclair. This next fragrance is from Electus, and this is Mercurial Cashmere. So this fragrance is one of those fragrances that I find hard to explain, but I will try my best. When I smell this, for some reason, I get grape soda. Not literal grape soda, but like it gives me grape soda with like some spices and this warm kind of like fuzzy feeling. I don't know what the notes are, but I cannot get past that grape soda smell. Meaning, when I say I can't get past it, it's not that I don't like it. I really enjoy it, but I cannot get that out of my head when I smell this. But it's delicious smelling. It's like the most grown-up, sophisticated grape soda you've ever had. And then you pair that with some vanilla. You pair it with this soft feel, like a cashmere feel, like the name would imply. So it gives you this warm, like fluffy blanket of smell. So good. It performs so well. I actually think this one is great year round because it has like two different sides to it. It has that sweet soda-like smell to it, and then it also has this warm kind of cozy smell to it. So I feel like it works perfectly year round, any type of weather. It's not too heavy for me in the summer, but I also think it has a ton of presence and it will be great in cold weather as well. Again, this is not one that I would typically wear like on a date night, but any other time I think will be appropriate. Day, night, whenever. So again, that is Mercurial Cashmere from Electus. This next fragrance is from Mas Milano, and this is called Madeline. So this fragrance is another one that I feel is a literal gourmand, but I still feel like it's quite sophisticated. So when I smell this, I get like a milky, biscotti type smell. Plain and simple, that's what I get. But it smells so good. It's so well done. And although it smells like food, it's a very elevated experience. It's not super sweet. And I feel like because of the type of food it smells like, it's still really unique. It's not what you would go into Bath and Body Works and expect to smell. It's not that type of sweetness. It's like a French pastry cafe or something. That's what it kind of smells like to me. It's gorgeous. I believe hazelnut is a note in here. At least that's what it smells like to me. But yeah, you definitely get that pastry vibe to this as well, with a little bit of milkiness to it. It's not extremely lactonic, but there's definitely some milkiness to this fragrance as well. So again, that is Madeline from Mas Milano. The next fragrance I have is from Gourmand, and this is Spiritueux Double Vanille. So this fragrance is very popular, and for good reason. It's a beautiful vanilla scent. It's one of those vanillas that I call more so a basic vanilla, not basic in a bad way, but basic as in mostly vanilla. However, this vanilla is extremely well done. It's not extremely sweet. To me, it leans a little gourmand, but it's not extremely sweet. It has this spiciness to it. It has a booziness to it. And it's just very well blended. It lays very well on the skin. This is not a huge performer. It sits kind of closer to the skin, but I think that works for this type of fragrance. And if you are a person who is not really into vanillas because you find a lot of them to be too sweet, this may be one you want to get your nose on, because I don't find it to be too sweet. I still classify it as a more gourmand vanilla, but it's just this level of elegance and class to this that I feel like I could wear this literally anywhere. So if you have not tried Spirituiste Double Vanille, I definitely think you should try to get your nose on it. It is a special vanilla and it is popular for a reason. So again, that is Spirituiste Double Vanille from Gourmand. The last fragrance I have is from Jo Malone, and this is Ginger Biscuit. So this fragrance is the one that inspired this entire video because this has been a long time love of mine. My bottle is old, but they recently re-released it for the holiday season, and I will pop up a picture of the new bottle. I did buy one as a backup, but I have not started using that one yet. But now that this is re-released, I want to get back to wearing it and talking about it again, because for a while I stopped talking about it because nobody could get it. But this fragrance smells like gingerbread cookies. This is another one that I feel is more of a literal gourmand, like it smells like food, but still very elevated. And like I said, it smells like gingerbread cookies. So the ginger is definitely present. You get this cookie pastry type vibe. You get those spices that you're used to smelling from gingerbread. So Christmas, fall type spices. But this has this transparent nature to it. And I know Jo Malone fragrances don't generally have great performance. This one to me actually performs really well for Jo Malone. So this lasts like a really good amount of time. If I had to guess how long, I would say maybe like 6 hours. But for cologne, I feel like that's doing a lot. But because it is like a lighter wearing fragrance, I feel like that kind of elevates this fragrance. If this was really heavy, sugary, sweet gingerbread, I feel like it could go into that body splash territory, but the way this is done, the way that they compose this fragrance, the way it sits on the skin, it's perfect. It's perfect. Perfect for this time of year, perfect for Thanksgiving, perfect for nighttime. It's about a fireplace. Even if it's a fake fireplace or a picture of a fireplace on your TV, this is perfect for all those types of occasions. It's just a fun scent to me, and it makes me feel cozy, and there's something really comforting about this fragrance to me. So I plan to be finishing this bottle this year because I've been holding on to this little piece, but now that I have my back up, I have started back using this one. So again, that is Jo Malone Ginger Biscuit. So those were the sophisticated gourmand fragrances that I wanted to talk about today. Let me know in the comments, what did you think about these fragrances? Have you tried any of them? Are any of them on your wish list? Do you want to know more about any of these? If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. I typically upload videos every Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday, so I have tons of content that you can check out on your free time. Also, check out my website at www.simplyayesha.com. Over there, I do talk about fragrance, but I also talk about other things that I love. Get on my email list over there. If you want to connect me more, follow me on Instagram. I'm in my stories and my DMs almost every day, and now your girl has a TikTok, so follow me on TikTok too. All those things will be linked in the description box below, as always, along with all the products I mentioned in this video. I hope you all enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.